There is a pattern so common in retirement that it might as well be written into the calendar. It begins with a launch, a celebration, a long-awaited freedom that feels, for the first several weeks or months, absolutely exhilarating. You've crossed the finish line. You are at last on vacation from the world of obligations. And then, almost imperceptibly at first, something shifts. The vacation ends. Not because you go back to work, but because the feeling of vacation evaporates. The excitement that carried you through those initial weeks softens, then fades, and can leave behind a quiet that feels heavy, not peaceful. A sense of flatness, or even emptiness, where you expected there to be only sun. This is what many call the post-retirement crash. And if you are experiencing it, or sense it coming, it is vital to understand one thing first. You have not made a mistake. You are not failing at retirement. You are encountering a perfectly normal psychological transition. You are simply moving out of the honeymoon phase, and the landscape on the other side is unfamiliar. Let's understand why this happens. The initial period, the honeymoon, is powered by two very strong engines, novelty and relief. Novelty is a powerful drug for the human brain. It sparks curiosity, energy, and engagement. Everything about those first months is novel. The first Monday without an alarm. The first long, leisurely lunch. The first spontaneous trip. Your brain is delighted by the newness of it all. It's an adventure. At the same time, you are flooded with relief. The mental and physical weight of a career, the deadlines, the commutes, the office dynamics has been lifted. The contrast between that previous pressure and your new liberty is stark and wonderful. You are, in the truest sense, decompressing. But novelty, by its very nature, wears off. A leisurely lunch becomes just lunch. A free Tuesday becomes just another day. The brain adapts. What was once a thrilling new reality becomes simply your reality. And the powerful feeling of relief, while it may linger as a baseline gratitude, stops being an active daily emotion. You get used to being unstressed. This is a good thing, but it means the two engines that were propelling your sense of euphoria naturally idle down. And when they do, you are left standing in the quiet center of your own life, perhaps for the first time in decades, without a script. This is the moment the crash can happen. It's not a sign of something wrong with you. It is a sign that the temporary fuels of novelty and relief have burned off. And now you are faced with the fundamental question of this chapter. What now provides meaning? This transition is so significant that it shows up in the research. Studies on retirement well-being often chart a U-shaped curve. Satisfaction is high at the point of retirement, fueled by that honeymoon period. Then, for many, there is a decline in life satisfaction, and sometimes an increase in depressive symptoms, typically occurring between 6 to 18 months after leaving work. After this trough, well-being gradually climbs again as individuals adjust and build a new, sustainable life structure. This dip is not a permanent destination. It is a valley on the path. But it's a valley we should talk about openly, because knowing it exists can make navigating it far less frightening. These retirement blues have some common telltale signs. You might feel a persistent sense of boredom, or time feels long and unanchored. Even if you are technically busy, there can be a loss of purpose, a feeling that your days lack a central, compelling reason for being. You may experience a drop in self-esteem, a nagging sense that you are no longer contributing anything of value. Irritability or restlessness can surface, a low-grade frustration with this new life that was supposed to be so perfect. You might find yourself withdrawing socially, lacking the energy or motivation to connect, which can then deepen feelings of loneliness. And sometimes, there is simply a vague, hard-to-define sadness, a mourning for the structure, identity, and social fabric that work provided, even if you didn't love every aspect of the job itself. If you recognize these feelings, please meet them with compassion, not criticism. You are not ungrateful. You are in a period of renegotiation with your own identity. The old version, the worker self, has receded. The new version, the retired self, is not yet fully formed. You are in the workshop, and it's normal for a workshop to feel messy and uncertain. The crucial work of this phase is not about desperately trying to recapture the honeymoon's high. That would be like trying to relive the first thrilling date with your longtime partner. The context has changed, and so have you. The work is to begin the slow, intentional process of building a new foundation for meaning, one that is not based on escape or novelty, but on engagement and substance. This starts by shifting the question from, "How do I fill my time?" to a deeper inquiry, "What makes me feel engaged?" Engagement is the antidote to the crash. It is the state of flow where you lose track of time because you are so absorbed in an activity. It is the sense of connection you feel when you are truly present with another person. It is the quiet satisfaction of using your skills to complete a project, however small. Think of it as moving from being a tourist in your own life sightseeing, consuming experiences to becoming a resident. A resident invests. A resident tends a garden, knows the neighbors, contributes to the community. A resident builds a life, not an itinerary. So, if you feel the crash coming, or find yourself in its midst, here is your first gentle step. Grant yourself permission to let the honeymoon be over. It was a beautiful season. Thank it. And then, without judgment, acknowledge the more complex terrain you now stand upon. Then, get curious. Not with grand plans, but with tiny experiments. What activity, when you do it, makes you forget to check the clock? Who are the people whose conversation leaves you feeling energized rather than drained? What did you love to do at age 15, before careers and responsibilities defined your time? There are clues in your past and your present. The crash after the honeymoon is not the end of a good retirement. It is, in fact, the necessary beginning of a real one. It is the signal that the easy fuel has run out, and it's time to tap into a deeper, more enduring source of energy. The energy that comes from purposeful engagement, from lifelong learning, from authentic connection. It is the moment you stop living a vacation and start building a life one that is designed not for escape, but for depth, meaning, and a quiet, resilient joy that can last for all the chapters to come. If this reflection on the transition from honeymoon to what comes next speaks to your experience, know that this is a shared journey. I welcome you to subscribe to The Modern Elder for more guides through these unspoken transitions. And if you feel moved to, I would value hearing in the comments. Have you noticed the shift in your own journey? What was the moment you realized the honeymoon was over, and how did you meet it? Your insight creates a beacon for others navigating the same waters. Thank you for your honest attention.